Have you sat in our seat? Are you going to read a story? Are you going to read the Gruffalo's Child? Hello little monsters, we're here today to read the Gruffalo's Child. Now, one special little monster out there loves the Gruffalo so much that I thought she would really enjoy the Gruffalo's Child. So here we go. The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever set foot in the deep, dark wood. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, the big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long time ago. What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big? Is he terribly bad? I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought for a minute and scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. One snowy night, when the Gruffalo snored, the Gruffalo's child was feeling bored. The Gruffalo's child was feeling brave, so she tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. Into the wood went the Gruffalo's child. Uh-oh, look at the rabbit. He looks scared. Ah, ooh, a trail in the snow. Whose is this trail and where does it go? A tail poked out of the log pile house. Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse? Whose tail do you think it is? Out slid a creature. His eyes were small, and he didn't have whiskers, no, none at all. You're not the mouse. Not I, said Snake. He's down by the lake eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Ah, ooh, marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks and where do they go? Two eyes gleamed out of the treetop house. Could these be the eyes of the big bad mouse? Whose eyes do you think they are? Down flew a creature. His tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort. You're not the mouse. To wit, ooh, not I, but he's somewhere nearby eating Gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo's child. Who's watching him? Is that a deer? Ah, ooh, a track in the snow. Whose is this track and where does it go? Whiskers at last and an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse? Who do you think it is? Out slunk the creature. His eyes weren't fiery. His tail wasn't scaly. His whiskers weren't wiry. You're not the mouse. Oh no, not me. He's under the tree, drinking Gruffalo tea. It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo's child, as she sat on the stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse. But here comes a little one out of his house. Not big, Not bad, but a mouse at least. You'll taste good for a midnight feast. Look at the little snowman, he made a Gruffalo snowman. Wait, said the mouse, before you eat, there's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you'll let me hop onto the hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend so bad and big. The Gruffalo's child unclenched her fist. The big bad mouse, so he does exist. The mouse hopped on to the hazel tree. He beckoned and said, just wait and see. Out came the moon. It was bright and round. A terrible shadow fell on the ground. This creature, so big, bad, and strong, his tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. The big bad mouse, yelled the Gruffalo's child. The mouse jumped down from the twig and smiled. Ah, ooh, prints in the snow. Whose are these footprints? Where do they go? The footprints led to the Gruffalo's cave, where the Gruffalo's child was a bit less brave. The Gruffalo's child was a bit less bored. And the Gruffalo snored and snored and snored. Look at the mouse, he's having his nut again. And who do you think drew on the cave? There's the snake, the fox, the owl, and the big bad mouse. And they're having their sleep by the fire. Good night, Gruffalo. Good night, Gruffalo's child. Good night, little monsters. Hi, so that was the Gruffalo's child. We hope that your little monster enjoyed that. If you have never heard of the Gruffalo and this is the first that you are seeing the Gruffalo, you must go get the Gruffalo. So the Gruffalo's child is the follow-up to the Gruffalo. We absolutely love the Gruffalo's child here in the basket. It's definitely one of our favorites. It's a huge success in the UK, and I know it's making its way throughout the world. So the Gruffalo's child takes on the same characters. It's got the owl, the fox, and the snake, but it's the child that it's mainly focused on through trying to find the big bad mouse that kind of conquered the Gruffalo in the first one. We don't love the Gruffalo's child as much as the Gruffalo, but I think it's always hard to follow up on something so good. So if your little monster does love the Gruffalo though, the Gruffalo's child is definitely a must-have for their collection. We hope you enjoyed the Gruffalo reading, and remember, this is not a replacement. Sharing a story in a book with your little monster is priceless and has so many benefits for them. But we do understand that extra 15 minutes is golden, and reading a story with us here in the basket is probably the second best thing. So have a great day.